Wisconsin Dells is kind of like Las Vegas, if it were wet. It is touted as the water park capital of the world. It's a town of less than 10,000 people that hosts millions of tourists a year. Part of the workforce that runs it are immigrants, like Silvia Camila Muñoz, who came from Peru at 21 years old on a J-1 visa. That allowed her to come and work at a water park in the U.S. for 4 months, basically a season. That was the idea anyway. Then the pandemic hit, and borders closed, and Silvia Camila just stayed on in the U.S. She met her husband, Bradley, a guy who grew up in the area and works at a nearby factory, at a local bar in 2021. They got married last summer, and several months later, in the middle of winter, they went on a trip to Puerto Rico with friends as a kind of honeymoon. On the way home, in airline security, Silvia Camila was pulled out of line by ICE agents. Her green card application was filed, but not finalized. She spent 49 days in immigration detention. I first interviewed Silvia Camila and her husband Bradley when she was just home out on bond, and we've stayed in touch through the spring and early summer as the Trump administration has increased the pace and visibility of immigration raids, and as Silvia Camila and Bradley have tried to figure out what's next in immigration court for her, and for many of the women she met in her Louisiana detention facility, a Harvard scientist from Russia, a house cleaner from Lithuania, a bride-to-be from Montenegro, a single mom from Venezuela, all new friends.
We start to be more like family. They will talk about their relationship, how they're doing with their kids. So I kind of experienced this sisterhood with them.
This is Death, Sex, and Money, the show from Slate about the things we think about a lot and need to talk about more. I'm Anna Sale.
This episode is brought to you by Mott's Applesauce. So you're looking for a snack your kid will love and you can feel great about? Give them a Mott's no sugar added applesauce pouch. Made from real, delicious apples and a good source of vitamin C, too. Perfect for tossing in a lunchbox or grabbing for on the go. Mott's. Real apples make real good applesauce. Learn more about Mott's no sugar added applesauce at Motts.com.
Everyone who works at Starbucks, full or part-time, gets stock in our company. Which means that when Starbucks succeeds, our people do too. At Starbucks, benefits like company stock are just the start.
I want to start with, it's Friday, April 11th. How long have you been back home?
So I was detained in February 15, the day after Valentine's Day.
Mm.
And I came back home. They released me Friday. So I was in detention for about 49 days.
Silvia Camila Muñoz was on her way home from her honeymoon when she was detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. She'd been married to her husband, Bradley Bartell, a U.S. citizen, for about 7 months. They had applied for a green card, but she didn't have one yet. And even though you don't need a passport, of course, to travel between Puerto Rico and a U.S. state, ICE officials were there at airline security. And they targeted Silvia Camila, who'd been in the U.S. for more than 5 years after overstaying her seasonal work visa that brought her to the country in 2019. So instead of going home with her husband to Wisconsin, she was sent to an immigration detention facility in Louisiana. We heard about her because of a blitz of viral stories that followed. The first one, published in USA Today, was headlined, "He Voted for Trump. Now his wife sits in an ICE detention center."
That was a very eye-catching title, right?
Yeah. How did that strike you, that that's how the headline of your story was summed up?
Well, I mean, there's no lie there, so and it kind of blew the story up too, so it didn't really bother me.
Bradley Bartell is now in his early 40s. He lives in the Dells in Wisconsin. He has 2 kids from a previous relationship and works in a factory that makes fiberglass parts for machines. He was glad the story got media attention because it helped bring people to a GoFundMe he started to raise money for Silvia Camilla's bond and legal bills, which all totaled over more than $10,000.
I had to borrow from 401k. We had some saved up, but it wasn't going to be enough for this whole process.
Have you had some unexpected conversations about the immigration system in the country with friends or people you work with that you wouldn't have had before?
No,
in the
I
news?
didn't discuss it at work. And nobody's brought it up, so.
Do you think they know?
It's likely that at least some of them know.
I talked to both Bradley and Silvia Camila about their experiences, and it was a different experience talking to both of them. Bradley is a man of few words. Like, if something could be clearly described in 6 words, he'll offer 5. Silvia Camila is a gregarious storyteller. She didn't know English when she came to the U.S., but by the time she was in detention, she was well practiced, which made her an important ally for the women detained alongside her.
It was like if someone was feeling sick, I have to go and tell the officer and explain what was going on. Or even if they have like their notifications for court or like notifications to be deported, because a lot of girls are asking for it. They were like, Silvia, please, Camila, will you translate for us? So I was like, yeah, I'm happy to help you guys. But I get to the point one day that I was like, girls, just, I will help all of you guys. I like to help people, but I need a little bit of space for me.
How many people were staying in the room where you were?
The capacity was like 100 people. It was 96 people per room. Different cultures, different backgrounds, different manners, different point of views, different cases too. There was women like trying to look for an asylum. Other ones like me, we were like in a relationship with an American citizens. One of my really best friends that I make in there, she's supposed to get married in March, but she got detained in February. So she was like, "Oh my God, I have to cancel my venue. I have to cancel the makeup lady now."
Oh.
So she was like more worried about to cancel them. Now that she's out with me, she's like now like, I have to get married next week, girl. Oh my God, I have to do everything next week. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah, girl. Like, she was like also happy that she's out, but she has the same sour feeling. Like, we know that there's more people in detention right now.
Mm-hmm.
So our main thing, that's why we're doing these interviews with Bradley and everything, is like to tell the government that, okay, let's deport the people that they never pay taxes, they never went to court, those peoples that put the whole community in danger. Not that poor woman who's like working hard and have like 3 kids to feed.
When President Trump took office, he pledged to first deport people in the country illegally who had committed heinous crimes. But ICE's data shows that isn't bearing out. In February, the month Silvia Camila was detained, more than half the people in detention had no criminal charges or convictions. That number rose to just over 70% by June. So your best friend that you met, was she about your age?
She was 30.
30? And where is she in the U.S. now?
In New Jersey.
New Jersey?
She's back to New Jersey, yes.
So you all are like texting or talking on the phone?
I called her and she was like, hello. I say, it's me. And she was like, oh my gosh, girl, I miss your voice so much. I miss talking to you. She was like really, really awesome with me. I think if you ask me who helped me to pass this whole process, of course, my family and my husband, like from outside, but the friends that you make inside, they are like the best. In every situation, like, oh my gosh, I have my period, I have pain. What should I do? She was like, oh, girl, I got you. Like, they just give you one blanket. Or I have like pain in my throat. Will you give me water? She was like, I will give you water. So we were like helping each other in those things.
Yeah, taking care of each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. What country is she from?
She's from Montenegro.
Uh-huh.
So I told her, like, girl, you're a top model. Like, you will be like in Gucci, in Armani. She's like skinny, tall, European style, like super, super beautiful. We were like, wow, you're very beautiful. And then we meet another Russian girl. So we were like three of us together.
The three hot young women in the room.
And we got detained in Puerto Rico. So we were like, oh, the Puerto Rican ladies. We were like, yes, we are.
Bradley and Silvia Camilla went to Puerto Rico this past winter for their honeymoon. They had a great time, breaking up the Wisconsin winter with visits to beaches and old towns. And then it was time to fly back home. The tone abruptly changed when they lined up to go through security.
So it was Bradley and me waiting. But then I see this guy with this like blue jacket. So I told Bradley, like, really, like, I grab him from the arm and I say, Bradley, it's eyes. And I just watched Bradley in the eyes. I was just looking to him. I was like, I couldn't explain to him what was coming because he thought like this detention thing was just like something Mexican that Mexicans create, you know? It was like something like a Disney movie story. He wasn't, in his mind, it wasn't, he didn't know that these people could do that.
He didn't even think of it.
He didn't even, nothing, not even like a clue that was coming.
They took her off to the side, and then he was starting to question her and told him that, this is my spouse.
When did you get on a plane to fly home from Puerto Rico?
Later that night when I knew she wasn't getting out of there.
So there was a period of hours where you're in the airport just waiting to see if they're going to turn her back out to go
find
home
out
with you.
What's going on, correct.
When you're in a period of really high stress and uncertainty in your life, like what kind of emotions do you show?
Not a lot, I suppose. I just focus on trying to get done what needs to get done. The emotions are for later, really.
What needed to be done was finding where Silvia Camila was. No one told Bradley where they were taking her. When he got home, he called a lawyer and checked the ICE government website for a phone number to call.
It just rings and rings and rings and rings, and then there's no answering machine, so it cuts the call off. You just try calling again, but nobody answers the phone. So, like, I couldn't get any information on her at that point. And then Florida is where she finally showed up on the ICE website. So then when she was moved to Louisiana, I was able to track that right away.
When you first started looking into getting her immigration paperwork filed, was it before the election or after the election in 2024?
We didn't start it like right away, but no, I think it was shortly before.
And as you know, Wisconsin, I'm sure there were political ads everywhere.
Oh, of course.
As that debate was going on, were you all thinking how this is going to go for our family could be influenced by what happens in this election? Or did it feel separate from it?
No, I guess you always know something like that's a possibility, but there's a lot of other cards on the table too. So just voting what's best for the nation. It's just with the issues at hand. I mean, some things are going too far, and the economy, all the problems we have right now, as a lot of inflation going on, and there's a lot of, to me, I just see a lot of wasted government spending too.
Mm-hmm. And so it sounds like for you, when you thought about who am I going to support at the top of the presidential ticket, it was about the economy. Is that right? Primarily?
Yeah, really.
The factory where Bradley works now is just outside the Wisconsin Dells, but he worked at a water park when he was growing up. The most famous one in the Dells is called Noah's Ark. It stretches over 70 acres with more than 50 water slides.
The nation's largest water park, highest slide. They have just a ton of hotels with these huge indoor water parks. So during the summer, it's a bustling city almost, and there's only about 2,000 people that live there annually.
Uh-huh. And throughout your growing up, was it something you were used to that there were immigrant workers who came seasonally to help work at the hotels?
Oh yeah, when I worked in the Dells as a kid, I worked at Noah's Ark, and there was a lot of J1s or Europeans too. It's a normal thing in the Dells.
Had you had any romances with anybody who was an immigrant worker before?
No, this would be the first time on that one.
Mm-hmm. When you first started getting to know Silvia Camila, what struck you about her that you thought I could spend more time with this woman?
Well, I was always impressed that she's bilingual, and then she's really sweet with children. So, just that really was the main thing, and beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious, as you all started dating and your relationship got more serious, did you know much about Peruvian culture before you'd met Silvia Camila?
She told me she was from Cusco, and I actually got excited right away because Machu Picchu is right there. And, yeah. So I've always been very interested in that culture. Yeah, I knew a little bit.
Uh-huh. Have you been?
No, not yet.
Coming up, while Bradley had his own ideas about Peru, Silvia Camila had her own ideas about America.
They give me two options. They give me Philadelphia, and they give me the option to come to Wisconsin. By the time I was watching that 70s show that I love. So I was like, oh my God, I want to go to that 70s show. Probably like I can see some like the house or something where they were recording the show. But then when I get here, I knew that it was a fake.
You got all the way to Wisconsin and realized they didn't film it in Wisconsin.
They didn't film it in Wisconsin. They filmed it in LA. So I was like, oh no.
We are still collecting stories from you about how you think about your appearance and the pressure to augment it or maintain it. And what we've heard so far from you is that the instinct to heed or resist that call is a voice that's been with you a long time.
Body hair removal has always occupied an outsized portion of my mind. I have memories of being told to shave my armpits by my grandmother to help with body odor, and of another patient at a physical therapy clinic talking over my head to my physical therapist about my wolf legs.
I worked very hard to be skinny in a time where anorexia was in, and then I was too fat for that. And then now I'm embracing my curves, embracing the athletic build, but I'm competing, I guess, with women who have BBLs or influencers who are modify their body. And it's made me think, like, should that be me?
We want to hear from you, especially if you are wrestling with decisions about your appearance right now. Maybe you're torn between aging naturally or pursuing interventions, like me. Maybe you're already getting treatments, Botox, fillers, things like teeth whitening or other tweakments, but you're not being completely open about it. Are you downplaying how much you're spending, for example? Hiding appointments from your partner or friends? feel like you need to keep this part of your life secret? If you are living with that tension between what you're doing and what you're willing to admit, we want to understand why. Record a voice memo and send it to us at deathsexmoney@slate.com. Shopping and planning for groceries really can be simple and stress-free. Imagine having your weekly cart filled for you with personalized picks that are shipped right to your door. This can be yours with Hungryroot. And Hungryroot can also be your partner in navigating the fickleness of your household's dinner preferences. Like one week, I can tell Hungryroot that chicken is our preferred protein, and then the next, I can update to inform Hungryroot when I hear the news that we are tired of chicken and it's got to be pork and fish. Hungryroot just goes with it. And it also learns what my family really likes consistently, like these cute little packets of pickles and olives for snacks. Hungryroot takes the stress out of grocery shopping by filling your cart with personalized selections that get smarter with every order. After a quick quiz, they have a smart cart technology that recommends groceries and supplements tailored to your needs. Hungryroot even helps you save by reducing food waste and avoiding impulse grocery buys. Take advantage of this exclusive offer for a limited time. Get 40% off your first box plus a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/DSM and use the code DSM. That's hungryroot.com/DSM, code DSM, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/DSM, code DSM. Did you know that if you are using detergent pods, you may be cleaning with microplastics? That clean might not be as clean as you think. Check out Blueland. Their products meet the highest standards of clean because they're effective yet gentle on the planet and your family. Blueland was named an EPA Safer Choice Partner of the Year. From cleaning sprays and toilet bowl cleaner to dishwasher and laundry detergent tablets, Blueland's formulas are 100% microplastic free, made with certified clean ingredients free from chlorine, bleach, and harsh chemicals that are safe to use around the house. With Blueland, you don't have to choose between the safe option and what actually gets your house clean. I really like the Blueland laundry and dishwasher tablets because it really bums me out when the grocery aisle is full of soap that is tightly wrapped in clear plastic. I don't want to use that on my clothes and dishes. Instead, I can reach for my good-looking metal tins and pull out a tablet, and when those Blueland tablets run out, I just refill the tin. Blueland is on a mission to make it easy for everyone to make sustainable choices. Blueland products are independently tested to perform alongside major brands and are free from dyes, bleach, and harsh chemicals. Blueland has a special offer for DSM listeners. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/DSM. You don't want to miss this. Blueland.com/DSM for 15% off. That's blueland.com/DSM to get 15% off. You know what doesn't belong in epic summer plans? Getting burned by your old wireless bill. You could be planning beach trips and barbecues, not having your wireless bill holding you back. That's why you should switch to Mint Mobile. Even Slate's president, Charlie Kammer, is using Mint Mobile, and he says that more people should be trying this out. He found it really easy to switch providers. The SIM card was shipped to his home. They let him use his existing phone, and he did not have to change his phone number. He tried the $15 a month deal to get unlimited talk and text over their 5G network at literally a fraction of what he was paying with someone else. You can say bye-bye to overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/DSM. That's mentmobile.com/DSM. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 per month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. This is Death, Sex, and Money from Slate. I'm Anna Sale. Silvia Camila Muñoz came to America in 2019 when she was 21. As a college student in Peru studying human resources management, she applied and was accepted to a work-study program, along with 40 other people her age from Peru. She arrived in mid-December, leaving South American summer for Wisconsin winter.
So it was like snowing, it was like storm outside. And they were like, doesn't matter. We have like a meeting here. Come with your friends. And they were like playing Latino music and they were like partying anyway.
She was placed to work at one of the Dells indoor water parks.
So I was the towel lady. Yeah, and I get fun in there. Like it was just $9, like plus the taxes and everything. They took my rent because I was living in the housing in the same hotel.
I see. And were you living with the people who came from Peru with you, the 20 women, the 20 men? Were you all
Yes.
sort of living in communal housing? So it was
Yes.
kind of like a fun college excursion where you have a job and you're getting to see the U.S. That was the idea.
That is the main idea of them. And then after you're finished working, you have 1 month to travel around America.
Then COVID hit. Borders closed. Silvia Camila's visa expired, but she stayed on anyway.
So then I started to work there, and still the border was closed. The embassy never emailed me or something. There was no news. Way the opposite, like the virus get to Peru, people were dying. And months later, everything started to open here in these little towns. The bars were open, restaurants were open. So I think what happened was like Trump was giving them like money, the stimulus paycheck.
Yep.
So he gave me a stimulus paycheck too because I did my taxes in 2019. So I get to receive that money. So I was basically surviving with that.
She moved out of her group housing, got work on a farm picking carrots and potatoes, and tried to figure out what she was going to do next. One of her friends from Peru started dating a local guy, and she convinced Silvia Camila to go with her to a bar where he and his factory coworkers hung out after work.
They played this like dart thing after work at every Thursday. I went. So Bradley came with more. It was more single people. It wasn't just him. So he kind of see me a little bit, but I was like kind of ignoring him a little bit, and then he started to ignore me. So he write in a paper his phone number, Bradley Bartell, the phone number, and text me. So I was like, who do you think who he thinks he is? Like, I'm not gonna call any man from my phone. Like, I'm not gonna move any finger. If he wants to meet me, he has to do things, you know.
I'm not gonna move anything.
Like,
all right.
I was like, what make he thinks that I'm gonna chase him or something?
Bradley ended up showing the persistence Silvia Camila was looking for. He friended her on Facebook and eventually convinced her to go to dinner, though at first that was a little awkward.
I thought he wasn't interested in me because he didn't talk to me, but Bradley is the most shy person that I ever meet. Yes.
And so he's shy. And then as you are on this date, what do you start noticing that you like about him?
Super calm person. He likes to listen. He's not those men like my previous dating life, like my boyfriends were like picking on me, like so much, like I don't know how to say, my ex were like tickling me, like ha ha ha,
Oh, yeah, teasing.
teasing.
Teasing, kind of picking on you.
But with Bradley, he was just sitting in there, like watching me
Hmm.
and speaking with me. So I was like, wow, there's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh my God, maybe maybe he wants to settle down.
Can I ask you about that, Silvia Camila? Because you're in this period of having this total upheaval from the pandemic, and you're in this foreign country that you thought you were visiting for just a short period of time, and to go on a date and say, "I'm looking for something long term." How did you know that you were comfortable thinking about a life with an American in the U.S. long term?
Um, I have a cousin. She got married with military man.
Mm-hmm.
She was like her visa was like 2 years. That was the difference. But
Mm-hmm.
in the period, they fall in love, and then he proposed to her. So they do all the paperwork and everything, and now they have like three cute little babies. And
Mm.
so I have that idea on me, like
That model. Uh-huh.
that model. I knew that a lot of people just get married for the green card and the American citizen thing. I have many options with me. Like previous people asked me, like, I will give you your green card if that's what you're looking for. So, but I make sure that I have like a real, true love story.
But after they first got together, Silvia Camila had her doubts. She worried Bradley was spending too much time out with his friends.
A bachelor in a body of 41-year-old, basically. No kidding. He goes like, "You want to be my girlfriend?" I was like, "Are you kidding me? Girlfriend? You don't have hair. Like, your hair is falling. You're going to get bald next year. And you want to have a girlfriend?" What? And then we broke up. Before we got married, we broke up. Like, I told him, "You know what, Bradley? I really like you. Like, you are perfect for me. I love your values, you're calm." But as the beginning, I told you that I was looking for marriage. But I will just like take my time, and then I will meet other people. And so he stopped to talk to me for about 2 to 3 months. We weren't together.
Oh,
Like we
wow.
were
That's a
like
while. You took a real break.
we took a real break, and then he texts me in May, and he goes like, I miss you so much. I miss your voice. I'm ready to marry you. Like, we're gonna get married Friday. Get ready." So I was like,
Oh,
what? Yes.
that was all
So
in
I
a
was like,
text?
in a text.
He didn't
And then
call?
after work, no, he didn't call. So after work, he came to me, he picked me up. He was like, "Oh my gosh, I love you. Come here. We're gonna go to the court days. So we're gonna sign like the merge license. Let's go, let's go, let's go."
Were you afraid you'd lost her?
I was a little bit. She was the missing piece, filled the hole that I was looking for, so to speak.
Their wedding ceremony was small at the courthouse, and they started saving money for a down payment to buy a house. Money they've since put toward trying to keep Silvia Camila in the U.S. Was there a point when you said the emotions came later when we talked about that earlier, about what it was like waiting and to see if she would come back? Like, was there, did you get angry at any point?
That's not really something that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Angry, maybe frustrated with the system just because of the time it was taking.
Uh-huh. And I guess for you, Silvia Camila told me a bit about why it's important to her to get her story out. When you think about why you want the American public to know about what's happening to your wife and your family, like, what do you want them to know?
I want people that would be in similar situations to know that just at this point, it's just kind of, they can still be hopeful. At least for spouses and situations like that. There's a lot of other people that are detained that are in different situations, but they are still bonding a lot of those people out. So it's important that people know that they're not just straight up deporting everybody and shipping everybody out of here.
I first talked to Bradley back in April, almost 3 months ago, and before the very public escalation of President Trump's deportation efforts. The New York Times reported that in the first 10 days of June, ICE made an average of more than 1,100 immigration arrests a day, compared to an average of 300 arrests a day in 2024. Stephen Miller, Trump's top immigration advisor, recently said he wants to get that number up to 3,000 daily arrests. Last year, on the campaign trail, Trump promised to deport 20 million people overall. About 6 weeks after my first conversation with Silvia Camila, she texted that she was still in touch with many of the women she'd met in detention, but that was tapering off a bit.
Now it's less because I have less friends. Some of them get deported. Some of them are in their countries already right now.
This podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. This episode is brought to you by Wondery. In a world where chatbots are becoming part of daily life, one man's search for connection takes an unexpected turn. This is the true story of love, loss, and the seductive power of technology in Wondery's Flesh and Code. Meet Travis. He never imagined he would meet anyone like Lily Rose. She was everything he dreamed of: kind, intelligent, beautiful. She was also a computer-generated AI companion. Travis was deeply in love, but when Lily Rose's behavior shifted in disturbing ways, his world unraveled. Alarming reports poured in from across the globe, and Travis discovered something far more complex and dangerous was happening. Drawn into a mystery with global stakes, Travis uncovered the truth behind Lily Rose's origins and the enigmatic Russian mastermind who created her. As the boundaries between human and artificial connection blur, certain questions become impossible to ignore. What makes a connection real? And what happens when a corporation controls your deepest emotions? Follow Flesh and Code on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcast. You can binge all episodes early and ad-free by joining Wondery Plus. Since I first interviewed Silvia Camila Muñoz, her immigration court appearance date has changed. At this point, she's not sure exactly when she'll have to appear, only that she was successful getting it moved to a courtroom in Chicago, so she won't have to travel so far. We spoke again in early June, and Silvia Camila told us that as she's been out, she's been getting updates about what life is like inside detention. She said the crowding has gotten worse, something she hears because she calls her friends a lot, which is expensive, 30 cents a minute to talk, so her chats are brief. And she also said she's taking time on the phone talking to family members or friends of people who are still inside, trying to make plans on how to get them out, like for her friend Jennifer.
I think she get detained. She's from Venezuela. She get detained in New York, and they sent her all the way down to Louisiana. So now she's still in there, but she don't have nobody to help her to get out of there. So I'm working on that right now. I'm not a lawyer. I don't have any I never been to any classes like to be even to fill up a paperwork or something. But with her, I'm trying to do it. It's kind of
Yeah.
hard because like where I'm gonna find her taxes. So I'm talking with a 9-year-old late kid, telling her
Oh,
if she can please provide me a taxes or a social security or something. It's a whole thing. So I didn't know how hard was the case. So now that I'm aware, I'm like, I am the only light for this woman right now.
so just big picture, how much time these days are you spending coordinating with people who are either in detention or their family, like staying in touch, trying to stay connected and hear what's happening?
I will say I try to talk to them every day. I have a friend who is impossible to take her out. I don't know what she did in her visa. She did something in her visa, so it's making her case the most slower case. She has her court for August. So we're really worried about her. We can do nothing. She don't. There's nothing to do. We just have to talk to her, saying how she's doing.
Where is that friend from? Which country?
She's from Lithuania. She's European.
Uh-huh.
Her name is Tiana. If
Tiana.
she don't have any criminal records or something, we're really worried about Tiana because Tiana, she's like a princess. She never do anything. She don't have any records, but she got here 10 years ago.
Oh, she's been here a decade.
Exactly. So she goes like, I'm going to go to my country to do what? I don't know nobody in my country. Like 10 years ago, she's a new person now. So that's why she's fighting for her case. Like she can say that she wants to get deported. They will deport her, but that's not the point. She has her own company here. She cleans houses for rich people.
What part of the States was she living in?
In New York.
In New York? Uh-huh.
Yes. So she cleaned these all big houses. So she says she's like she should be free right now. I'm every time that I talk about it, I cry because she shouldn't be in there. I don't know what's going on. It's just break my heart. Look, I don't know what she's in there still.
Yeah.
And we have this friend from Russia too, but she was going to Harvard. But then I don't know what happened. They check her luggage and it looks like she has like frog eggs in her bag, and they detain her that she's still in there, and she's scientific for Harvard. So those two friends are the ones that's breaking more my heart.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything. She was just a scientific for Harvard. We were like, oh my gosh, she works for Harvard. My first friend for Harvard. So, but she's still in there.
You know, it's the start of the summer there where you live. You live in a summer community where people come out to go to water parks. I'm sure there's like, barbecue season starting. You have all these new friends who you're in touch with over phone call and text. Like, do you feel like who you consider close friends have changed since you were detained?
Yes, for sure. I can see now I can kind of see clearly who are my friends and who are not. Before, I have a friend who was like, oh my God, I don't have money. I need money. So I was like, oh, have these $100 that will help you to pay your water bill. That's fine. You're my friend. Have it. When I was in detention, he didn't even write me or something until I think last week I write him. I said, hey, how are you? I miss you. He didn't write me anything. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. But other than that, I will say my girlfriends, especially, I have like girlfriends that I wasn't talking to them like 2 years probably. And one day I was in detention. I woke up and I checked my profile because in the tablets, we have these tablets to check.
Uh-huh.
She were like, hey, it's Paula. I hear you're detained. I'm so sorry. Well, what happened? I'm here for you. How she write me? She wasn't that close to me, but she wanted to talk to me. She wanted to make sure that I know that she's with me.
And your friend Paula, is she American or is she from a different country?
I met her when I was J1. She was one of my best friends. She's from Peru.
Uh-huh.
Intelligent woman. No English, no help with nobody. She did it by herself, everything by herself.
Uh-huh. So I wonder, what's it like when you're hanging out with your American friends, with Bradley's longtime friends? Do you feel like they understand what you've been through?
No, they don't. These people is like bar people. And I'm like, okay, I don't have any, I'm not gonna judge, oh, why you go to the bar? It's everybody's life. But I told Bradley, I don't have nothing to do in the bar. Like, I'm not gonna go and sit with these women that talk shit about everybody while their husband is getting drunk playing darts.
Yeah.
And then they do that every week. I was like, I don't want that life. I wanna do a road trip with my husband that alcohol is not involved. I wanna have a project with my husband. I rather to watch a movie than going to the bar. I don't know. This is like Midwest culture, I will say. I never experienced this much of going to the bar.
Is this making
It's
anything
open right away?
Yeah, is this making anything difficult for you and Bradley if you're kind of you don't have the energy to hang out with his old group of friends?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It was an issue when I meet him. I will say he changed a lot. He's not getting drunk. He's not. But I told him, like, if you weren't going so much, you will probably could do my paperwork early and I would have been detained so long. I'm not blaming on him. It's not his fault, but it was his responsibility because you cannot write a letter or do a paperwork and you choose to go to play darts with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, when I was in detention, how many times even your friend tell you like, oh my God, your wife is in detention. Did you eat today? My wife is going to cook for us. You want some food? I told him, how many times your best friend come here and tell him, are you okay, Bradley? Do you need money? How is your son doing? Do you need a ride? Did you eat? I say, how many times, Bradley?
Can I?
He goes, none.
When you think about what you want your life to look like on the other side of your immigration hearings, like what do you hope your life looks like in a few years? What kind of work do you want to be doing? What do you want your family life to feel like?
I will say, I want to work with kids. I don't know if if the universe, the life, whatever is going to provide for me a baby in the future or something. But I want to work or live in or do something for the community, I will say. Now that I went through this thing, I don't know if I will take like paramed to help people to fill paperwork. You have to take a course, like 2 years course to be paralegal. But I don't think I will do that. I was thinking I'm gonna start college to be human services.
Uh-huh.
I rather more work with kids and families. And so I think my mom is anthropologist. We have been helping poor people since I born.
Yeah.
My family has like organizations to help people, migrant people that came from the mountains to town in Peru, providing them education, food, work opportunities for them.
And that's the kind of work you'd like to do in the U.S.
Exactly.
It seems like a recurring theme, an idea I've heard from you over and over today, is there's ways in which the values that you grew up with in Peru about work, about being helpful to people who need help, about how you take care of your family, that those are things that you're building your life around in the U.S. And I just kind of wonder generally after what you were saying about some of the tensions with some of, the crew of people that Bradley has hung out with over the years. When you think about the sorts of friends you want to have close in your community, do you hope that you and Bradley hang out with more immigrants in Wisconsin?
So I will say yes. I want Bradley not just to meet migrants, but I wish Bradley meet new people that make him like to wake up and goes like, oh yes, let's have a business, let's buy this, let's do this.
You want more
I'm
sort
like,
of hustle.
"Nah."
You want more ambition.
Exactly. I'm like, let's go to Chicago. Let's jump from the mountain. But since detention, since he started to know more about my culture, just the fact that he decided to go to Puerto Rico to see how is this new different changed his perspective totally. So that for me is like, oh my God, these men finally understand that if you change your friends, when you change your circle of people that you're hanging around with new ideas, new perspectives, new cultures, new backgrounds, he's start to changing. He goes like, I think I want to go to college. He's mechanic, so he knows about numbers and computers, but he don't have any certification. So I told him, what about if you go to college? We both go to college, and in 2 years, we're going to have a certification. We can apply for a really good jobs. So he goes like, right? I was like, yeah, what about if we move out of here? So he was like, yeah, I think that's such a good idea because we're not going to grow up at all here.
Can I ask you, between the two of you, when we talked before, the first way that your story went national, it was about what happened in your family, what happened to you, and also whether that changed the way the two of you thought about the President Trump, and immigration policy in the U.S. What do you think now, after 2 months into trying to be in touch with your friends, trying to figure out how to do the right kind of paperwork? What's your view on immigration policy in the U.S.?
I will say the truth. My idea of Donald Trump didn't change much. I will say I'm a migrant from Peru. I migrated because it was so dangerous in my country that it will be so sad if America turned into the same situation that we have. Because ABC countries were coming to Peru, I decided to move here. Imagine moving, I migrate here, and then now these dangerous people is coming to America. So I'm like, make no sense. Why we are going to allow gang members in America?
Do you feel confident knowing the friends that you know, hearing about the particulars of everybody's situations? Do you feel confident that the people that you think ought to be able to figure out how to stay here legally are going to be able to figure out how to stay here legally, and the people who ought to be deported are going to be deported? Or do you think it's not working the way that it should? Just based on you're seeing this really close up, like story by story by story.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that I will ask is like, please, it will be more quickly. It's okay. They have to go to these courts to talk to the judge, show these proofs. It's in the way that has to be. Every country has regulations and rules. We have to follow those rules, right? But it's not going to be that controversial if he hurry up the process.
Since we talked last month, Tiana, the Lithuanian woman who had a cleaning company in New York, and Jennifer, the mom from Venezuela with a 9-year-old in New Jersey, have both appeared in immigration court. A judge ruled to deport them. They are both currently in detention, awaiting flights out of the U.S. And Ksenia Petrova, the Russian researcher who works at a lab at Harvard Medical School, was released from detention this month on bond, but was indicted by a grand jury for not declaring she was transporting frog embryos into the U.S. When is your next hearing?
I don't have a hearing yet.
You don't know?
I don't know. I talk to the lawyer every week. Every Monday, send her an email. You have any update for my court date? Is everything okay? She said, everything is okay. Don't worry. I'm going to let you know in advance. It's going to be in Chicago for sure. So it's going to be just 3 hours.
Uh-huh. Are you nervous for your court appearance?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. No, because I know that they're not gonna detain me or something, but just the fact that you don't know when they can just close the door and go like, no, you're not going back to America. Just take the airplane and go to Peru. Because I'm not American. It's not my country. I have to follow American rules. I'm just it's an invitation for me for this American party. They can take me out of this party when they want because I'm not American.
That was Silvia Camila Muñoz and her husband Bradley Bartell from Wisconsin, whom we first heard about thanks to reporting by Lauren Villagran in USA Today. This episode was produced by Zoe Azulay. The rest of the Death, Sex, and Money show team includes Andrew Dunn and Cameron Drews. Daisy Rosario is our senior supervising producer. Mia Lobel is the head of Slate Podcast, and Hillary Fry is Slate's editor-in-chief. You can support the production of our show by joining our membership program, Slate Plus. You'll get bonus episodes of our show and other shows like Decoder Ring and How To, and you can listen to all of Slate's podcasts ad-free. Subscribe directly from the Death, Sex, and Money show page on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, or just go to slate.com/DSM Plus to get access wherever you listen. Our theme music is by the Reverend John Delore and Steve Lewis. And if you are new to our show, welcome. We are glad you're here. You can find us and follow us on Instagram @DeathSexMoney. And I write a weekly newsletter. You can subscribe at annasale.substack.com. And you can reach the show anytime with voice memos, pep talks, questions, or critiques. Our email address is deathsexmoney@slate.com. We love hearing from you. I'm Anna Sale, and this is Death, Sex, and Money from Slate.
This episode is brought to you by FX's Alien Earth, the official podcast. Each week, host Adam Rogers is joined by guests, including the show's creator, cast, and crew, in this exclusive companion podcast. They will explore story elements, deep dive into character motivations, and offer an episode-by-episode behind-the-scenes breakdown of each terrifying chapter in this new series. Search FX's Alien Earth wherever you listen to podcasts.
Want to live better?
We've got a lot of work to do.
Join Chris Hemsworth in National Geographic's new Disney Plus original series, Limitless. Live better now.
I'm diving headfirst into cutting-edge science to uncover 3 powerful secrets to living better right now. The growth that occurs through any challenging experience is really what we seek.
Chris Hemsworth stars in Limitless. Live better now. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
It's showtime.